I'm going to be shamelessly reading off my código. Sorry, I don't have the mad oratory skills the other people have. Okay, let's just wait till this queues up. Okay, well, let me introduce myself. I'm Paolo Cruz, the host and primary quiz master of GeekFight Trivia Night. Now, quite simply, GeekFight is a monthly pub quiz with geeky sensibilities. Now, a pub quiz part ought to be fairly self-explanatory. It's a trivia game in any fine establishment serving quality alcoholic beverages. And since May this year, we've held quiz nights in Magnet Cafe in the Fort, Ludos in Timog, and most regularly at Last Home in Madison Square and Pioneer. Now, as for geek sensibilities, rest assured that I will be shedding more light on that matter before I'm done here. First, let me just give you a quick run through of some of the mechanics, the basic mechanics of the game. Now, with GeekFight, obsessive pop knowledge equals free booze and nom-nom for the winning teams. Now, the exact prizes vary from one game to the next, but it's usually proportionate to the size of the team. But really, even without the promise of free drinks, the petty bragging rights are usually motivation enough. Now, the quiz is made up of 8 themed rounds with 10 questions each. Now, 2 rounds are set aside for multi-purpose geek IQ. Another 2 cover particular media like music or video games, with unique formats like comics and animation treated as distinct categories. For our special topics, it can range from broad interest areas like cities or languages, to specific genres like high fantasy and space opera, or even particular content like zombies, pirates, or ninjas. Now, as one might guess, I'm pretty fond of comparisons, connections, cross-referencing, and as quizmaster, I like making players share their knowledge. So sure, I'll ask simple recall or identification questions, say naming RoboCop's prime directives, or knowing which organization runs the Large Hadron Collider. But just as often, I'll force players to pool their resources by asking comparative knowledge questions, like which Eraserhead song refers to a classic surrealist film, or to differentiate between a Terminator, a replicant, and a humanoid Cylon. Now, that's why teamwork is crucial here. And you're playing in groups of up to 8 members, and it's rarely hard to reach the limit. I've seen last-minute alliances between like-minded teams, with barcadas vaulting in to form deadly crack squads of precision geekery. Oh, and a friendly tip, you'll probably want to choose teammates with slightly different areas of interest so that you can cover as many bases as possible. Consider individual specialties the same way that you would when forming a sports team or a military platoon or a guild in an MMORPG. And, okay. One thing that sets GeekFight apart from other quiz nights is that we're not based in a single venue. I mean, sure, we have a home league that always plays at Last Home in Mandaluyong, but we have a new away league as well that'll be zipping around the metro next year. It's a separate but equal division with its own championship history, so that's double your chances of winning, basically. And even more than our nomad spirit, what really sets us apart is the social mood at our game. Because there are other quiz nights in Manila, but to put it in terms of Western TV, other places recall like the arch wryness of Seinfeld or Frasier, or maybe inspired the loopy Barcada vibe of How I Met Your Mother, whereas GeekFight appeals more to the sensibilities of something like Space, the Pomo stoner comedy, or the mix of book smarts and pop quotation on Big Bang Theory. Now, it doesn't make us any better, it just tells you what to expect. Of course, people are going to say, well, what if I'm not geeky enough? And really, there are several ways of answering this. Personally, we define geekiness in terms of the way one makes use of knowledge. If you can treat learning as a form of leisure, then you're geeky enough for this quiz. And in a way, it seems rather indulgent, especially in this country where education is a de facto luxury. And here are us geeks treating ideas like playthings. But hey, at least we're not abusing our knowledge power, and who knows, we just might be able to figure out how to monetize it someday. It's not like there haven't been first world precedents like this guy. Look at geek icon John Hodgman, who built a career satirizing the authority conferred by knowledge as a resident expert on The Daily Show. and in fake trivia, both slightly areas of my expertise. So what I'm saying is geekiness isn't defined by what interests you, but how you act on that interest. You can be a Chuck Norris geek, or a cricket geek, or a metaphysics geek. What really matters is that you're having fun with your knowledge of it. And hopefully, our quiz design reflects this sense of inclusion. Google gobble, we accept you, one of us, one of us. So, yeah, in game terms, there is an artificially level playing field that spans a flux of geek pursuits. Obscurity and practical use be damned. So one player's enthusiasm for Harry Potter lore is potentially worth the same point value as another's fluency in queer literary theory. So it goes with breakfast cereals, continental philosophy, Cold War minuity. It's all at par. See, all of that lifestyle stuff, from LARPing to furry fandom, debating fictional continuities, or reading slash fic, it's all just flavor. They're different manifestations of fundamental geekiness, expressed according to varied tastes and preferences. So let me put it this way. If you've ever wanted to go to a Gen Con, you're geeky enough for this quiz. If you monitor Boing Boing with even casual interest, you're geeky enough for this quiz. If you make the effort to catch the back of the show with any regularity, you're geeky enough for this quiz. Heck, if you're in the audience tonight, you're probably geeky enough for this quiz. And not only that, perhaps more importantly, it also means that you've got a level of cultural capital that's way off the charts. You're rich in social and intellectual resources in spite of your geographic location in the so-called global south. So every geek fighter has the potential to become an organic intellectual, to borrow a phrase from cultural theorist Antonio Gramsci. You're savvy to the codes of the transnational marketplace, even as you face the harsh everyday realities of living in a developing nation. So, or to restate Manny Pacquiao, you know. And knowing, of course, is half the battle. What the other half entails is up to us to find out. But until then, I hope to see you at the figurative front lines at GeekFight. Our next one is called Seasons Beatings. It happens this Monday, December 14, at Last Home in Madison Square. And so, just to close this off, I'd like to thank Pecha Kucha for giving me the opportunity to talk about this. Viva Pecha Kucha! So say we all! So say we all!